Hey guys, Sandy here, and welcome to my scrapbook layout that I'm doing with the Cheeky Studio August kit. It features the Notebook Nancy ephemera collection, which is this fun collection right here. It has lots of cute girls, florals, girly things, and even some donuts with sprinkles. So I am going to be scrapbooking this one photo here. It is a photo of me and some friends from work. So let's see what I can do. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, I'm starting out with the black cardstock as my background. And I'm just going to grab a little ink dauber here, and I had to pull off the pink one because that's the last one I used. I went and grabbed a clean one. Surprisingly enough, I had some. I'm using this Avery L ink, and let me grab it. I can tell you what color it is. It is Fog. It is a pigment ink. So what I'm doing is just kind of pushing this ink through the stencil, and the stencil is an Echo Park stencil. And isn't that cool? Doesn't that just look really, really cool? So I'm just pushing it through the stencil where I think I'm gonna have like things peek through and peek underneath from where my papers are gonna be. And after I get these 4 parts down of where I think, you know, we're gonna be able to see these little flowers poking through, I realize that's kind of harsh. Like, those are some harsh lines. So I decide to put my stencil down again and just go really lightly. I'm not worrying about matching up the florals or anything like that. I'm just going really lightly around them so you can see a little bit more of the florals and the gray, and it's not this stark contrast from where it goes from the black all the way to this inked up paper. Now you can kind of see it on camera here, but you can definitely see it better in person. Now I'm just going to go ahead and matte this photo, and this photo is not a great photo, guys. It does not have great composition. There is not a whole lot of light. Everybody is looking kind of, you know, this yellowy orange warm tinge to it. And basically, I'm just ignoring that. And I do that a lot with my photographs. Like, scrapbook them how you want to scrapbook them. Sometimes I think it's more of a subconscious thing where I pick colors that complement the photos, or I pull colors directly out of the photos. It's just something that happens in my mind where I'm not actively thinking, okay, what color am I going to use? I just start flipping through papers and grab it. And since I'm working from my Cheeky Studio kit, I knew that I was working with these certain colors, and I just went and picked a photograph that I thought would be fun to scrapbook with this kit. So yeah, no really thought process behind picking the photo for this kit other than I wanted to scrapbook it. And that's really the way I do things, and it's kind of my philosophy. It's do what you want, and there you go. That's all there is to it. Do what you want. If you enjoy it, do it. If you don't enjoy it anymore, stop doing it. If you want to try something new, do it. If you don't like it, don't do it again. Like, super easy, guys. So here I am. Now, as you can see, this is a new trimmer. This is a Creative Memories trimmer, and I used to have one back when Creative Memories was the old Creative Memories, and it was a dark blue trimmer, and it had like those orange trimmer heads, orangey yellow, I believe. Well, see that bandage over there on my thumb? That trimmer did it to me. The trimmer blade would not pop onto the trimmer, and I pushed it. I used a little bit of force, and it popped in, and it slid, and it sliced across my thumb, and I did bleed. Bled a lot. Didn't end up getting stitches because didn't really, well, it's a weird place. It's on the pad of your thumb, you know. Yeah, I got a steri strip holding it on in that bandage, so it's all good. Now I'm taking each of the papers that I received in the kit, and I'm just cutting strips out of them. And look at me go. I'm not worried about, am I going to be able to use this for a full page in the future, because I'm scrapbooking with my papers the way I want to scrapbook them. So I'm not worried about, oh no, I'm not going to have a full sheet. People, I have tons and tons of full sheets of paper. I don't have to worry about if I'm not going to have a full sheet of paper for this kit. I can pull in another one, because believe me, there is no shortage of paper in this scrapbook room. Telling you, it's the truth. Now, I really, as you can see, those stenciled flowers go great, well, in my opinion, go great with the florals from this Amy Tangerine collection. I believe it's the Shine On collection. Can't remember off the top of my head. So I'm just going to add one more layer here. I'm just making sure that I'm getting some pink and blue throughout this entire bit of layering that I'm doing. And as you can see, I pulled that out and you really don't see much of those florals at all. I think when I originally envisioned this page, it was going to be thinner and just less, but it turned out to be more. So more is more, guys, right? Now this is a sheet of vellum, and I gotta say, I'm really loving vellum lately to use as a photo mat, just to give it a little extra pop. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It's probably just a phase and it'll go away shortly, but you know, it's just the way it is. So there I was using some unfun foam, and I'm just popping that up. I just wanted a little bit of distance between the photo and all that paper in the background. Now we're getting to the fun part. I knew that I wanted to use some of these girls in the Notebook Nancy ephemera collection, and that was because, you know, it's me and the girls and we're out having a good time. So I grabbed one of the girls and I'm just grabbing some little bits and pieces, and I'm trying to figure out a cool little cluster for down here in the corner. And I'm thinking, you know, what should I do? Should I do more girls? Should I do florals? Should I do like desk supplies, notebooks? Because I mean, these are my work girls, or they were my work girls when we all worked together. One of us has since moved. I haven't moved to California, and one of the other girls here also moved out of state as well. So these were my old work girls. They were just great to work with. Just love them to bits. Okay, now see, now this is what, one of the things I like to do is if I get a die cut and I don't have a use for it, or I could have a use for it, but there's something I can do with it in that moment, I'm going to use it. Like, because just like paper in this room, I have no shortage of other supplies in this room. So when I get cool new stuff, I'm going to use it. So that little thing that I treated as a label is actually an iPad, but I'm treating it as a label because I like it that way. Now I decided to go ahead and do up 2 of these girls, and to be able to fit them on the page without cutting a portion of her head off, because we don't need to cut off anybody's head. Not on this page, at least. We like these girls. I just had to move some things over, and so I popped up the photograph a little bit, and now there we go. I got my girls. And I have that camera that I fussy cut out of the Amy Tangerine paper. And I did that on purpose because there is a camera in the ephemera pack, but I wanted it to be a little bit of a different paper because I do have die cut upon die cut upon die cut. So I definitely just wanted to do something a little bit different. Not that I mind having all these die cuts, because hello, they are fabulous, but I wanted something a little bit different. So here I go with this. I'm going to cover up the cut off bodies of the girls with the floral, and I do run the floral right off the page. So I didn't want to cut the girl, but the flower, I'm totally cool with cutting the flower. Totally cool with it. I think I'm going to use this Hello die cut that came in the pack. It doesn't stay there. I decided not to go with that. Now, these little crepe paper things, they remind me of skirts, like paper doll skirts. That's what they remind me of. And I decided to go with this blue one because I do have a lot of pink going on, and the blue is kind of getting lost on the page. So I'm trying to fan it out a little bit to get that crepe paper to, you know, kind of woof out just a little bit so it's not entirely flat, and I wanted it to poke behind the girls on the bottom. So I finally was successful in that, and I'm digging that a lot. I'm liking the way it looks. I'm liking the way the colors are coming together. I'm liking how warm, basically how warm that photo is, but how cool everything else is. And to me, it just melds into this marriage of prettiness. Now here is another one of those die cuts that I'm going to treat more as a label than I am as the die cut that it was intended for. And that is because it looks great. It has the colors I want. Like it's totally perfect. So I'm creating another cluster up here. So as you can see, most of my layout is centered on the left page, but I'm doing a diagonal within that layout. So I grab a label sticker, and this is from some Simple Stories pack. Could not tell you which one. I do keep my labels in their own little basket because I am a big label fan. So, but you know, this came in some sort of sticker pack and I separated it out. So now I'm using some more of my Unfun foam, and I'm just going to pop it in right there. And you might be looking at the top of my head going, what in the world? How in the world is her hair done? Well, I had a very bad headache when I woke up this morning and basically didn't even brush my hair. My head hurt so bad, so it's kind of all over the place. I promise I didn't get some weird funky haircut. Although I am thinking about, I want my hair to grow longer. I'm thinking about getting it trimmed and maybe some highlights. Because lordy, I have a bunch of white in my hair. And when I pull it back, whew, you can see it. I'm not ready to have white hair, guys. I'm just not ready. I want to ease into it. I think some light highlights will help that out. So here is one of those exclusive square die cuts. And it says she has fire in her soul and grace in her heart. And I just covered up the part that said and grace in her heart, because fire in her soul fits with me and these girls. I pulled out those stickers. I was trying to see if they matched. They were a little too green for this page where these blues are definitely bluer. And I did get those small letter stickers in the kit, but I wanted something with a little bit more presence. I wanted something a little bit bigger. So I went ahead and grabbed these stickers, and they're like a gold and white sticker. And my title is going to be Girls Night. And I had enough letters to spell out night, so that's a positive. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab these other stickers, and these are gold, and they have kind of a green foam underneath of them. And I'm spelling out girls with this one. So while I'm placing these letter stickers down, just a reminder, if you are interested in any Cheeky Studio products, what you want to do is go to cheeky.studio. You want to shop to your little heart's content, and then at the end, when you're in your shopping cart, you want to put a promo code in there, and that code you want to put in is Sandy10. It's SANDIE 10. That way you'll be able to get 10% off your order. And fun fact, it is not your first order. Every single order you place from Cheeky Studio, use my code Sandy10 and you'll get 10% off every single order. Except for kits. You don't get it off the kits, but anything you want to order separately, oh my goodness. And if you haven't checked out, my favorite is Midnight Florals, probably, I think. I also really like Wishes. I also like the Succulents. Midnight Florals, though, they're just gorgeous. Check those out. So I'm just writing the date, and I know the date because it was written on the back of the photo. Other than that, I would have had no idea when this was taken. I would have been able to figure out the year, but probably not the exact date. So that's handy that I have that. And I am using the Evil Creative Memories trimmer again. I'm just going to cut out some strips. I wrote some text and made that happen. And then I'm thinking it needs a little something else. So I'm trying to figure out what that something else is, and voila, that something else is Heidi Swapp Color Shine. So I'm going to drizzle that around the page, make some pretty splatters, and that is going to do it for this layout, guys. I'm going to have a couple close-ups so you can see some of these gorgeous Notebook Nancy die cuts up close. And that'll do it. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you want to have access to all my videos. Go ahead and hit that bell, the little ringy dingy, if you want to get notifications. You might get them, you might not. YouTube's being weird with their notifications. Best thing to do is subscribe. Leave me a comment if you want to chat, and don't forget to check out Cheeky Studio.